we had Manon Fiorot versus
Oof,
Thug Rose Namajunas.
man. Feel bad for Rose.
So people people hate on Rose a lot because of two things. One is the Carla Esparza fight. It's pretty bad. She didn't really take ownership at the time of how bad it was. And
Yeah,
then her affiliation and relationship with Pat Barry.
yeah.
People people throw her across the coals because of those two things. And it sucks because I really thought I was like, just wait. If she does win this fight, I had actually picked Manon Fiorot, but if Rose won this fight, everybody would be back on the train. Everybody would be talking about how cool because before she lost to Carla, Rose had a very big fan base, and everybody ditched her as soon as that fight happened. And it's like, hey man, it's
Yep.
one fight. It's one fight. you know, this is the same girl that beat Joanna twice, knocked out Zhang Wei Li, beat her again, came back. Yeah, come on.
She
Her
she
resume
looked
speaks for
boogie
itself.
she looked Boogie Woman in the eyes and didn't move an inch.
Yeah, it was
And we all
crazy.
fell in love with like how like she used her emotions to like stay focused, blah 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 blah. And now
Yeah,
her
but as soon
emotions
as
are
you
getting the better
lose,
of her. Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't like this. She's too emotional." Blah 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 blah. Like,
yeah, it's
okay,
like, hey, you liked it when she was winning. Yeah,
yeah,
MMA fans are fickle, man.
yeah.
Um, let's
Casual
see.
MMA fans are fickle.
Yeah, HB Comer says Rose too small. Who the hell thought it was a good idea to go up in weight? Yeah, the way I see this is I was like, okay, I think she is going to be too small. She wasn't even necessarily a big straw weight. I think she's even fought at atom weight in her career before she was in the UFC before.
Yeah,
But I was like, okay, I kind of thought of it as the Tatiana Suarez fight when she came back and she fought at straw or at flyweight, and she didn't look super impressive in it. She struggled with takedowns, things like that. And then I was like, man, this is the wrong weight class for her. She needs to go back down to straw weight. And or was it strawweight or no? Am I thinking bantamweight and flyweight?
yeah. Bantam and fly because
Yeah,
Tatiana's huge. If she can make
yeah,
115, then I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
yeah. So regardless of the weight class, she came back when she came back. She fought a weight class above, um, and that was against was it which one was that? No,
Tomato
I was
can number
right.
three.
It was a flyweight, and she's back at strawweight. Um, So she comes back at flyweight. She didn't look all that impressive, but it was also a long layoff and a weight class above. Then she comes back at strawweight and she's the world beater again. And I was like, man. So I was kind of thinking the same thing. As long as Rose, because she took a lot of time off, she looks decent in this fight. I'm not going to put too much stock in the result because I think it's too big for her and she's been a long time away. Um,
Also,
that
the
being
first
said,
punch that you throw, you break your hand. Like that's a lot to get over.
yeah, and I was like, how much is that going to impact it? She did keep throwing the right eventually. Her best work was clearly in round one. That was the closest round. After that, so like Tosi alluded to, she breaks her pinky on her right hand, so she ends up fighting most of the fight in her non standards or non dominant stance. And Manon Fiorot just kept peppering her. She's so good with her straight punches, Manon Fiorot. And then anytime Thug Rose would try to get in, she's hitting her with that right hook, just punishing her for getting in. It's like, man, what do you do? I thought, who am I? I'm an idiot, but I thought, hey, your hand's broken, and pretty bad it seems like. And every time you get in close, she hits you with the check hook. Maybe the game plan should be kicking. And after that first round, Pat Barry literally says, the kicks are doing good, but you don't need them yet. It's like, hey, man, her hand is broken and she's getting punished every time she gets in punching range. like what? Trevor Whitman wasn't there. I don't know what the whole deal with that is. I don't know if he just didn't want to fly to France or if they're no longer training together. Do you know?
No idea, but I would imagine that would have been something that was like talked about. It probably has a lot to do with like just travel.
Yeah, I would hope so because obviously nobody should be leaving Trevor Whitman. And now it sounds like
Yeah,
Usman's leaving Trevor Whitman. I don't know what's going on, um, but yes, Manon Fiorot look. I mean, look at this picture. Look how much bigger she looks in just this picture. Um,
massive
yeah,
compared.
and so I hope I haven't seen what Rose has said after the fight if she has it all, but I hope this after this fight she kind of felt the strength because she got in on some takedowns that were the entries were very good and she couldn't finish them.
Hmm.
And Manon Fiorot is not known for like her grappling strengths. You know, she's a very good
Yeah,
striker. So maybe she felt something and she's like, maybe I should go back down to straw weight. Especially, now we got Zhang Wei Li there. and she has 2 wins over her. It's like that seems almost like a no-brainer.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, it would have been a no-brainer if she hadn't taken this fight. Like you could almost have booked that immediately. Now you kind of
I
have to
know,
give Rose
right?
another fight to win.
Yeah, yeah. And or maybe she also saw Tatiana Suarez coming, and she's like, "Look,
Ah,
I struggle with wrestlers and pressure wrestlers, and I can do much better at at flyweight against Alexa Grasso or Shevchenko maybe." HLB Comer says maybe because he's a freaking weirdo. Yeah, Pat Barry is very strange, and it sucks because growing up I was a big Pat Barry fan back in the day. He was
hmm
one of my favorite
that
fighters.
fight with Czech Congo, it's
Whew.
crazy, insane.
Yeah, it was nuts. One of the best fights of all time. One of the best like firefights.
Yeah,
But halfway through this fight, there was also a headbutt, a clash of heads that split her open and immediately blooded her up. And I think we have
crazy
pictures.
amount of blood.
We have pictures of. Here's the injury warning. Here's the injury warning. But we'll get the headbutt blood shot, and then we'll also see Thug Rose's finger after the fight. If Rich wants to show those pictures, so that's from the clash of heads. Didn't really seem to affect her too bad at all. Really, she seems fine immediately. But yeah, she bloodied up. And then and then here's the finger.
Oh God,
Yeah.
so gross.
I can't imagine being in a fist fight with that going on.
Yeah.
But
And a lot of focus is going to be on Thug Rose's hand, and rightfully so. But it was very impressive that she got hit. The Maron got hit with that head. Wasn't the only one that got hit, but that split happened on her head, and that was a gruesome gash, a lot of blood, and
yeah,
she
immediately
essentially like just brushed it off and like moved forward the whole time. Like didn't let
Dude,
her focus stay on it.
it
It was
didn't
pretty impressive.
it literally she barely even acknowledged it.
Yeah.
It like and dude, some HB Comer says disgusting. I put that in there specifically for you, HB Comer. But everybody's had those weird clash of the heads just in grappling, right? It happened on they were both almost entering. And even the small ones like kind of daze you for a sec and they hurt. It's like a sharp pain, like it hurts. And for it to split you open like that, that's a bad one. And yeah, she didn't even acknowledge it. I think she just went like that, and then that was it.
Yep.
And her whole side of her face was completely bloody for the rest of the fight. Tony says Tatiana would maul Rose. Agreed. That's a terrible matchup for her. So yeah, she's in a weird position where if she wants to fight at the top at strawweight, eventually she's going to get matched up with Tatiana. I don't think that goes well. And now we've pretty much confirmed that she is too small for this weight class. I think maybe against someone like Alexa Grasso, size-wise, she might be okay. But some of these bigger flyweights like Manon Fiorot, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, if Andrade slammed and spiked Rose so hard she knocked her out, I can only imagine what Tatiana would do to her.
I know. Yeah. HLB Comer says, back to salads, Rose, you go. Yeah, I don't know what's next for her. I don't know what she's going to do. But
get surgery on her hand.
Yeah, that's probably immediate, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe it's just a nice pull and a splint.
Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.